Hi, this is Jason here tonight. Saturday evening, August 24th. A lot of our other garlic videos have focused mainly on harvest and planting, but I thought we're getting ready to plant any day now. We disked last night and spread gypsum, hoping that the rain would miss us, but it didn't. I think we got like close to an inch, so we're shut down for a few more days. If we get some sun and some wind, we might be able to go again Monday morning, but I'd like to kind of just go over, while we've got everything in place here, why we plant it where we do and what we do in between to make the next garlic year that much better. So it's kind of weird. We're out here talking about growing garlic in a garlic-free zone, but hopefully we'll have major garlic growing in a few days. This is obviously the ground that we disked last night. Yeah, I'm packing it down pretty good, and it's wet. It'll be a few days on this, but what we have, this 2 weeks ago looked like this. Just a sod that's been here for 10 plus years. When it comes down to it, to feed the next growing crop, nothing beats a plowed down sod in my opinion. You can't replace it artificially with compost or chemical fertilizers or anything. A plowed down sod by spring, all this sod that roots and tops is going to be decomposing, releasing nutrients throughout the soil that the plants are going to readily absorb. They're going to release it slowly, and it always produces a good crop for us, plowing down sod. For some reason, a plowed down sod as well, the weeds don't come as much. I assume that's just because the soil isn't working as hard to repair itself. So anyways, that sod over there will be garlic next year. This will be garlic this year. This was the 2020 garlic that was planted in last October 2019. We typically, as soon as the garlic harvest is done in July, we plant turnips. It produces tons of organic matter from a tiny amount of seed in a short amount of time. Garlic doesn't produce a lot of its own organic matter. We take the whole plant. We don't return the tops to where it grew because we'll be growing garlic again there someday. We picked this area of the farm. I guess I should go over that. First of all, it's level. Second of all, it is the highest testing fertility on the farm. pH is good, around 7. It's deep, dark ground. It's high in organic matter to begin with, and a lot of the other nutrient levels are adequate. So we go with this ground right here because garlic is a high value crop. And whether you grow big garlic or little garlic, it takes the same amount of time, and time is one of your biggest costs. So it really is. It has the possibilities of being a $50,000 an acre crop. It does require a lot of labor, but to short it on less than adequate soils it's not worth it to me. So yeah, the turnips here, they were planted It's first part of August, and I think it was at a rate of around like a pound and a half seed per acre. So this would have amounted to, you know, you could hold the seed that I planted here in the palm of your hand without any running out. So it's amazing. It always worries me because I want to go back over it with more seed, but don't. It doesn't like being crowded either. That kind of suppresses the growth. But it just never seems like I put enough on. This strip here was the garlic harvested in 2019. And this, we disked the turnip ground, and last year we grazed the turnips off with the sheep. And then, so it was bare ground. Disked it, planted forage oats and forage pea mix, and harvested that as hay. And seeded alfalfa, red clover, and orchard grass under the oats. So when the oats came off, then as a nurse crop, the perennial forages came on. But this is just the next step in improving the soil for the next time garlic gets to this area, which it's looking like if we stay at this amount, we're going to be running a 6 to 7 year rotation that, you know, it will go in garlic and then turnips and then a perennial sod for 5 to 6 years and then back to garlic. The year before, after the garlic and then the turnips, we went to just garden peas, shell peas, as a marketable crop. We picked them and sold them, and they did well, but I'd still like to see that go back and get back to a sod that much quicker. It just took another year out that it won't be in a sod. And the sod, we were hoping it would just come in. It does often at other places on the farm, but it didn't come in real good. Weeds were filling the places in, which we don't want that either. And we don't want, 3-4 years go by before a sod fills in good. So I seeded broadcast red clover on this in March, and it didn't look like much earlier, but now here in the fall it's really come on thick, and the grass, you can see it's filling in, and hopefully by the time the red clover fades away, the grass will have taken over. And then we come to a spot that we never have planted garlic here. And this is just perennial sod. This has been in sod for 10 plus years. It's orchard grass, white clover, bluegrass. And so, the far sod over there on the other side of the plowed and disc ground will be next year's garlic. And then we will come back here the year after that, and this will be the garlic, and then go through the rotation again. We will be planting our 5th garlic crop here in the next few days, hopefully, which a lot of people are puzzled by the fact that we're planting garlic in the fall, because just most garden stuff goes on any crops in general go on in the spring, but garlic needs that cold weather to get it to sprout. It takes the warm weather then for it to take off and really grow rapidly. But if you wait till the spring, it just won't grow the same as it does if you plant it in the fall. And different years, it sprouts, it starts putting on roots, but it does not really take off in growth. So we planted last year, I think it was the 25th, 26th of October. Other years we've been into November. I think one year we were early enough We got it planted the middle of October. You don't really want to plant it too early either, I guess, but the main point here is that I don't really like the idea of using a chemical fertilizer on it, because it's a fast release thing. It's iffy. It's not the same. We're still after big, but we still want quality. And I'm not real keen on using manure on the soil or on a root crop either, just because it has some burn capabilities. Its decomposing can tie up some other nutrients as well. So then there's compost. We do spread compost whenever we can out here if we've got good quality compost. But the idea in the rotation and the improvement of the organic matter, alfalfa, it is, from what I'm coming up with, I'm sure there's opinions on this, it's become the thing that makes the most sense to me. It's long-lived. It'll be here the full life of the rotation. It's a nitrogen producer. It's a tons of biomass producer, and it kills easily with the plow down. So that's why we're going with the alfalfa, and from here out we probably will. And with just the red clover and orchard grass to fill in the gaps. And all of this we will be grazing, we will be taking hay off of it, so it's not like it's going to waste. And so it's not a strict green manure crop, so we are getting some use out of it that way. But the idea here is to, in the off time in growing garlic is just as important as the year of growing garlic, because we are improving the soil so that the year it is in garlic, it will be at its best. And if, I just thought I'd cover this. If you're new to this channel, or if you're interested in the other aspects of it, we already have some garlic planting and garlic harvesting videos, some sorting videos. The next few days, I'm hoping to, once we start planting, we'll be able to go over more things like clove selection, bulb size, what to select as your seed garlic. And hopefully the sun comes out tomorrow and we'll be rolling on Monday. Thanks a lot.